mind, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black, meet Joe Black. Why would I ever have to cop a chain?
It's week 5 of the National Football League, and we'll be watching Terry McLaurin. He was perfect for them a week ago, getting a pair of touchdowns and some massive yardage. It's the Commanders and the Raiders, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Darnold looking to start with a pass. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
On second down, a run with Gibson. They juked him. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this one is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Darnold. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw, Darnold. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
They go play action here on first down. All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. He'll drop to throw. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. They're able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the 3rd down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the first down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the first down. Excellent tackling right there.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Jabril Peppers deep to receive. Pushes him over. And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. Another try after the first down sack. Darnold gets this into the hands of the tight end Higbee. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 36. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 54 yards.
You think the head coach and the offensive coordinator are able to pull the earplugs out now? Because all week, all they heard was, you know, Coach, they can't go pass at all. Maybe for next to last in the league.
Yeah, last week we saw the numbers. This week going against 2nd to last in the pass defense area. Good for him. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. First carry for Josh Jacobs. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. If they want first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
This will come out to the 25 as Lewis going to opt to not return it. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start on the ground with Gibson, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Eluding the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chandler Jones, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Jacobs from the gun. Powers through it. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Here comes Peppers. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Meanwhile, Darnold's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the 36, Darnold. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Here's Tressway now, standing just outside his own goal line. This is taken at the 23. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Raiders now to take over. Last week, good result. They were able to beat the Detroit Lions, and now they are on the good side of the scoreboard right now as well. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. This offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. On 1st and 10, Darnold. Got a man, it's Higbee, complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 16 yards right off the bat, but a 1st down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys can't.
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. To throw again on 2nd down. Darnold. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll set up to throw. There's Chris Olave. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. The Raiders at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory. Back to the running game with Jacobs.
He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Jacobs going to try the middle. He will push his way down to about the 14. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got an open man. It's Olave. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that one, a 13-play drive in total. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. But look at Washington as they come onto the field. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Darnold now to throw. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's another 1st down and want to be a gain of 21 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half. 10-0 our score. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw is Darnold. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. To the air again, Darnold. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Sly able to put this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Finding more on the out route for the completion. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin out in the Golden State. Minnesota heading for warmer climates to take on the LA Chargers. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. Adam Thielen up near 100 yards receiving with a touchdown as well. Next, we'll stay in the NFC West as we head up through Oregon and on to Seattle to check on the Seahawks. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Ken Walker, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Patrick Mahomes, terrific in the victory as his guys up their mark to 4-1 now. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for Washington, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They were 7-point winners a week ago, and they lead by 7 here as well as they start out 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Slant pass complete to Olave. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 28. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's Olave bringing in another one. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. And the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Throw right side complete to Dodson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run with Gibson. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Back to throw Darnold. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on 2nd.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Darnold. And he's going to go down again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Darnold. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Off the option, here's Jacobs. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Darnold's throw taken in by Samuel. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Darnold. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Now quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. A first down throw, Darnold, and that'll be incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon. Again, Darnold. Complete, it's Dotson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. Straight ahead, Gibson down at the 35. It'll be 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Faking the give, Darnold. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw is Darnold. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough. I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention. Got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Working with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from home. Incomplete. That was 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
He just held on to the football too long there, Charles. That's point blank, right?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. You've got to have that internal clock that goes in your head that says either get rid of the football or flush and go and use your legs and try and pick up the first down. I think he hung in there too long, and the blitz got to him.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Oh, he sheds himself free. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 38, Darnold. Under pressure, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
This offense so far on third down, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be third and a mile. Slings this deep for McLaurin, and unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
The Raiders heading out to take over. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
To about the 40-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
A give, it's Jacobs off the option.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Darnold on first down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time. All right, it's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
On first down, it's Darnold. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Darnold from the gun. Open man is Samuel, complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Darnold to throw again. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Two-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Darnold. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. Gets this to Gibson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. Meanwhile, Darnold's throw complete to Dotson. But now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this being inside 2 minutes of play. Everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Sly able to put this one through, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they will take a knee here.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other, and they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So for Las Vegas,
they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders,
they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.